So next on the list, having taken lots of photos, I guess we'll get this leaky nickel cadmium accumulator out of there, and maybe remove some of the rest of these battery related devices, which I don't intend to be using for a while. And then we got to figure out how the chassis gets out of here. Probably I should go translate this warning sign here before I do anything else as well, but let's get this accumulator out of there. So here is the nickel cadmium battery out of here. It says it's a D3.9, and on the side here it's got 1.22 volts and 1.1 volt. 3.9 ampere hours, so I guess that's what the 3.9 means. Made by an outfit called DEAC, D-E-A-C. So, and a metal enclosure, rather heavy as you'd imagine. So, I guess we'll hang on to this for the time being in case we might end up stuffing it with something or not way down the road. So yeah, I'm going to put this guy to one side for a while and see where we go from there. Not unsurprisingly, it's had some fairly heavy knocks because this is the battery, that retaining clip for that particular battery. It's screwed and bolted from the other side of this wooden front plate, but on this end it's completely pulled through. So you have the screw with head and bolt and everything, and it's obviously completely pulled it through the wooden front panel. So I guess not surprising with the weight of the battery that was in that. It didn't take too much of a jolt, probably. Still, disappointing nonetheless. So we'll have to get that off there and get all the rust off it, clean it all up, and see what we do with that later on. It's probably time I started looking at the circuit diagram for this thing, because there's a strap here which is clearly to hold in another battery, because this metal bracket here, which I can't get off by the way, the existing nut and bolt is completely rusted, seized up solid. But there is this cloth strap for holding in, I presume, another battery, and we have a great big battery connector here. And so since the other one is such low voltage, I'm assuming this guy here must be for our B+. But yeah, so if that's the case, I'm not quite sure what these guys are over here are doing, so I'll have to, this is clearly 2 D cells, and I can't believe this is original, but interesting. We shall see. I know these cases are original because it's clearly meant, you can see them in the inside back panel. Yeah, so that's going to give you 3 volts or 1.5 volts, depending on whether they're and they're parallel wired, I can see, so that's going to be 1.5 volts as well. So learning as we go. Yep, and there's a label on this yellow wire here, I don't know if you can see this, and it says 1.5 volts, positive. So yellow is positive, black is negative. I'm actually confused as to why we have these wires here at all with this strange connector on the end, because clearly these 2 D cells are wired in parallel and the wires go off to the circuitry in the radio, and then you just have these 2 wires sticking out here with this strange connector on the end, which is kind of strange. Not sure what that's all about, but yeah, I think we'll see about getting this out of here as well, and then I can start looking at how this chassis might come out of this cabinet. Okay, so I think I have all the power leads over here to one side, so we can start to make more sense of them. Disconnected the FM antenna feed and its earth from here. I guess we can get rid of the old power card. We're not going to be using this for a little while. And man, it's really low power stuff. This looks like phone cable. And well, this socket, this plug doesn't work in my part of the world anymore anyway. So okay, we get that out of there. Now there are 2 screws right here, which look like they're holding this chassis onto 2 brackets. But there's probably more right up front here. A little hard to say, but we'll get the knobs off first. So I might be in luck here. I've taken off this panel. Incidentally, this warning is basically unplug it from the mains before you go poking your hand around in here. So take that off. I've removed the 2 screws that are here at the back, and it seems like the whole chassis might slide out. Man, that'd be so cool if this comes out like this easily. Man, I love German engineering, you know. Yo, man, that is cool. And we have a chassis out here we can start working on. I guess I'd really want to get the glass dial off of there so nothing happens to it, but it's held on with fabric tape. We gotta take it easy because there's 2 whole dial cords in here in a very small space, and gotta watch these little baby tubes here, man. I don't want to do anything too drastic here and cause damage. So this guy, I'll snip him up here. This guy 1/2 inch further along, and this guy 1/2 inch further along. Okay guys, there we go. We got a chassis we can work on. Man, that mains transformer is tucked in there real tight. So, I guess at first inspection the good thing is I don't see a huge amount of paper waxies. But the ones I do see are just going to be such fun to replace. But I like the design, the way the whole thing is a single unit. You take it all out of there, and you like the whole switch panel here is all one. As usual, there are cracks on the knobs, but that's no biggie. Get all that sorted, and yeah, so far so good. So I think at this stage I'll start getting the old circuit diagram out and we'll start familiarizing ourselves with it. So we got 1 valve underneath here, and then I got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, 7. I'm probably going to have to get this guy out of the way because he's going to just be dragging. Good, now I can get that out of the way. Wherever it's been stored, it's been nice and dry. Because one thing these guys really don't like is moisture. You get rid of all the gunk and cobwebs and spiders and etc. Whatever else is in there. And we'll get started on it.